Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Jamar84 here on after my little mini break or whatever. If you want to know where I've been and what's been going on, I uploaded a video earlier today, letting everybody know I'm not dead. I haven't been, knocked off. I haven't, committed suicide of any of that sort. Still here, still alive, just been going, through some personal things, some family issues, but we're back now. And we're back now with the first episode of the second season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So this season starts with the first scene. You see Miss Mimi. Now, Miss Mimi is explaining that, she starts out, she's like, I've moved on, I've done this, I've done that. But then she shows herself in bed next to Stevie J. And the whole world was like, what the fuck? Mimi, you went through this whole debacle about him cheating back and forth with what's that girl name? Jocelyn. You've been going through that whole shit, and this man done dogged you out on national fucking TV. And then didn't Mimi upload or didn't wasn't there like a video of Mimi rapping or some shit? It was in black and white. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. It was some video she was going off. I don't know if she was just yelling into the camera, rapping or something. And she thought she was going hard, and her little backup people, whoever that was in the background, was just giving her all types of life. Bitch, they was laughing at you because you was making a damn fool of yourself. Just like you're making a damn fool of yourself right now on this motherfucking TV screen. She talking about, if it takes me to stay in the house with Stevie J to keep Jocelyn away from my daughter, I'll do what I have to do. Bitch, if you want to keep Jocelyn away from your daughter, you get out the house that Jocelyn lives in. Doesn't Jocelyn live with Stevie J? And you're gonna stay in the house with this man? Mimi, you're supposed to get away, far, far away from this motherfucker. This man has done shit to you that I just can't even fathom why you even think you want to be even near him, let alone staying in the same motherfucking bed. Like, if you want to get away from him, take you and your daughter. Didn't he buy y'all a house outside of Atlanta? I mean, I know last season she was like, oh, he bought me this house, just to have me way off somewhere so he can do whatever the fuck he wants with Jocelyn. Cut him the fuck off. Take that house. Shit. Sorry, y'all. That's so bangy. But, hell, take that motherfucking house, take you and your daughter there, and live well. Because I know you got some money. So don't even play. So, Mimi, get your life together. Get the fuck out of Stevie J's house. So the next scene we come upon is Erica and Lil Scrappy. Yeah. They're talking about, the marriage is coming up and this whole spending habit. Now, apparently, Scrappy is pushing out about $1,500 a month. That's his budget, apparently, on clothes, shoes, etc. And Erica's like, bitch, we have a wedding that we're supposed to be planning. You can't be chucking out 15 grand or $1,500 every month. Like, can we spend like on a budget? Like, I know you're supposed to be this big rich rapper and all that shit, but we gotta be realistic. Cause weddings, of course, I've never been married, but weddings, there's a lot of shit, little small stuff that you don't even think about that takes planning, and you have to. That's why wedding planners make so much freaking money. You have to plan this shit. Then it's just so much that goes into it that I don't think like a lot of the men that be getting into these relationships understand. So she's like, okay, she's gonna try to compromise. She's like, okay, let's just bring it down to 1,200. And he's like, I think he said like 14 or some shit. I'm like, Scrappy, you can't. You've gotten this far with this woman. Like, y'all was already like rocky, and I don't want you to do anything to jeopardize, this wedding. Okay, if you have to, take a sacrifice some of these shoes and cars or whatever the fuck you be buying throughout the month. Plan your wedding. That should be the most important thing for you right now. Okay, get it together, little Scrappy. So here comes Jocelyn, and this girl is up here gyrating with her fake ass. Like, literally, her ass is just sitting there. It is no jiggle, not one, nowhere. And she is just trying to give you life, giving you broken Spanglish teas. Like, her... she just really looks like a stripper with a mic, and it's really pretty much what she is. Like, she's giving you sex appeal, but it's just stripper ish, like not an artist. Like, I don't look at Jocelyn and see an artist. I just see a stripper who's up there, or who may not be stripping, but they're just entertaining with sex. Like, it, I just can't take her seriously yet. And since I can't understand your songs, what am I supposed to do? So then Stevie J walks into Jocelyn's performance. Sorry, I'm going to be Banji again. Good stuff. I think that's Watermelon Minute Maid. But so Stevie J comes in, and he feels, he's coming in like on some, I guess he says some rude shit about his daughter, him and Mimi's daughter, and he was trying to check her on that shit. And Jocelyn wasn't too much trying to hear it. She was like, "You got this bitch in my house. I'm supposed to be staying there. What the fuck is she doing there?" And Stevie J tried to boss up like, you can't be crossing this line. It's talking about my daughter, this, that, and the four. And long story short, Jocelyn just said bye. And they had that whole discussion for like the upteenth time about Stevie J's like, "Oh, I made you," and he's like, "I don't," and she's like, "I don't need you anymore," and this, that, and the four, blah 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 blah. They just so on and off. They're gonna be back. Like you see in the previews throughout the season, they back hugging and kissing. Do you still love me, Stevie? It's imminent. Like, come on. So this is the scene that I did really. This is probably the scene that pissed me off the most. One of the scenes that pissed me off the most is Shay's ass comes to Mama D about about Scrappy and whatnot. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with this. First of all, Shay, I love you, girl. You're a pretty girl. Like, you could probably score much better niggas than you even give yourself credit for. And I understand that you are crying over this fool, but this is something that Shay, you have to understand. This man has a child by this woman. Okay? This man has not only a child, and he's trying to work shit out with him. Like, they had a rocky start, and they're trying to work stuff out and get, bring their family together. And he has clearly chosen her because he proposed to her in front of you. Okay? If that's not an indication of a big giant red flag that this shit is just not meant to work. Now, I know it's gonna hurt, but going to his mama, that's something that you don't do. You don't involve, people's mothers into your own situation. But I guess she feel like that was that was her only crutch or ally or whatever in the situation. And Mama D still with her retarded ass. Somebody remind me, because it's been a long time since I saw the first season. I'm still confused about Mama D's issue with Erica. Can somebody remind me? Because I'm just confused as to why she's just so pro Shay when your granddaughter, the mother of their granddaughter, is trying to work it out with your son, and your son clearly chooses Erica to be his wife. And I'm still confused as to why she can't accept that. So K Michelle, we see her. She's singing in the studio, and she talks to us. She talks about her new record deal she has with Warner, and she made a comment. This is the part I'm just going to take from it. She made a comment about she wants to be the next Jeezy and Fergie. Jeezy's not necessarily the most, the best rapper out right now, and Fergie, she has a good voice, but she's a lot of hit and miss lately. So, K Michelle, I love you, girl. The girl can sing, but you are kind of on the ratchet side. And I think she wants to call her album A Tortured Soul, if I'm not mistaken. It would fit, but, I would just say focus, like, I think your manager, whoever that was you were talking to, is like, focus on your music. Like, don't make any distractions towards that. So Erica meets up with her mom, and she's talking about the marriage to Scrappy. And so she's explaining all the details, saying that, she feel like he really loves her. And her mom is just like, "Are you sure?" Because she gave that face like, and she asked the question like, "Does he love you enough?" Like, she doesn't doubt that he loves him, but she's like, "Do you love him? Does he love you enough to marry you?" And I'm like, that's a good question. That's a really good question that some couples probably just ask themselves. So Benzino's on this radio show, whatever, and he still has no neck. He looks like a chicken nugget. And he has Jocelyn on his show. And he asks her, some questions about like how do you work with somebody that you love, or how do you, work out the relationship and working with somebody and whatnot. And Jocelyn says it pretty much doesn't work. And that's true because a lot of people can't separate, work and pleasure. You know, some people in the conflicts, and that's probably a perfect example. But she said she's always looking for love because she loves to have sex. I'm like, technically you don't need love for sex. It's best to have love with sex. I'm gonna say that right now. Don't just be throwing your couscous out there for everybody. But it's always the best sex is with somebody that you love. I'm just gonna put that out there. But she was just like, I love to have sex, so I'm always up for love. So she's single and ready to mingle. So K Michelle and Erica meet up, and they want to kind of throw Erica a little surprise. Well, not really a surprise, but like an engagement party. And she mentions that she found out that Arian, the girl who was pretty much invisible last season, slept with one of her exes. Now, this could be, I don't know if the details about this have been released or if it was said in the interview. If it depends on when the sex happened. And I feel like if you two are cool and or if you two weren't friends yet and that sex happened, then there should be no problem with that. Or I mean, if you guys are, or if I guess if you guys were together, not together, but if you and K Michelle were friends and this was an ex that they had in the past, then that would be fucked up. If me and somebody are friends and they know that this person was a part of my past, then fucking them would be off limits. But I'm like, if this is like an ex from years and years and years ago that you didn't even mention or even know about, and you found out that I had sex with him, you can't really, say anything about it because like, how the hell is I supposed to know? And y'all been broken up for like 10 years, so like, what would be the problem? And when they met up at this actual engagement party, you know, who was that was talking? I can't even remember. I think it was Mimi. Mimi was the one, asking, Arian like, oh, how you doing? And da 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 da. When Mimi asked the Arian how she doing, K Michelle's over on the side like, And Arian was like, hey Kay, how you doing? And she was just, long story short, she just went off. She was like, bitch, how you gonna, how you gonna motherfucker sleep with my ex? No, that hurt my feelings. This, that, and the fourth. And Arian just defended her case like it was. She was basically like it was just a fuck. That's all it was pretty much just a fuck. So Stevie J buys Jocelyn a fur coat, and she's like, it's nice and all, but she feels like she can't be bought. And she says she feels like a prostitute. And Stevie J counters like, I don't pay to fuck you. But in hindsight, if you buying her a fur coat, that's payment, bitch. So Mama D, goes out with Scrappy. I believe they're looking at clothes or whatnot, and she takes this opportunity to talk about Shay. And she's basically trying to hang this. She's trying to say, Shay's looking real good, and she's lost some weight. And I was praying and hoping. I'm like, Scrappy, be a motherfucking man. And he answered my prayers. Scrappy was like, look, I'm not. I choose Erica. Like you either gonna, be with me on this, or I don't know what you're gonna do. But this is what's gonna happen, and you're gonna need to get used to that. I was like, yes, Scrappy, yes. So this is the part that everybody was all up in arms about. It was right. I think this is right towards the end with Stevie J. Was talking to Mimi about the relationship, and she's basically like, There's so much shit that you would have to do that is crazy. And this is when Jocelyn walks in her stripper outfit and her, promiscuous attire, and she calls Mimi Molly the maid. I was like, ooh, Jocelyn. And then she walking up into, well, I guess it's Mimi's. Is it Mimi's house? I mean, it's Stevie J's house, but Mimi lives there. So this whole dynamic is just confusing to me, to be honest with you. Their whole thing, I'm confused as to what the fuck is going on. Because Stevie J tries to repair his relationship with Jocelyn and then goes back home and tries to do the same thing with Mimi. I'm just like, how long is this circus going to be running? Because this is crazy. So Mimi goes off on Stevie J and says, you gonna let this bitch just walk up in here, or she calls him a hoe. You just gonna let this hoe walk up in here and disrespect me like that? And she throws a drink on him and tries to bite him. She tried to pull a Gia from Bad Girls Club season 9 and bite bitch. No, that wasn't season 9. No, season 8. Season 8 of Bad Girls Club and bite bitches. Like, she was attacking him like a fucking hound dog. But that's gonna be the video, you guys. I know I'm probably running a little bit over my time, so hopefully I can edit this down. But like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will see you guys on the next video. I'm not telling what it's gonna be. Might be a surprise video, might be another review video. You never know with me. So I thank you guys so much for giving me all the love on my last video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.